welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Formula Pod. And today it's a two-man army show as our very nice friend Mihir is having some quality time with animals down at Kenya. And me and Jason, we got our work to do and do the heavy lifting. So welcome Jason to the show.
Thank you very much, boss. Mihir is having the time of his life. You should see his stories. It's insane how close he is to some of them animals. It's so cool.
No, technically, like what I saw was that he was with giraffes, and then today he's with turtles. I don't know. He even named the turtle Speedy. I'm like, whoa.
Leave him. We're here to talk about F1.
Yes, we are here to talk all about the Spanish Grand Prix, and it was a pretty interesting one because my team Mercedes ended up getting a double podium, which was a really big thing. But then this race apparently, how I'll say, it put in a lot of different situations. Like let's dig into it. Also, exploring about the upgrades which Ferrari bought in, which for one car it didn't kind of work as expected, and for the other car which held on with the existing car model ended up on the points. And we'll also talk about the gap of Red Bull. Like how long would it take for the rest of the pack to kind of close that gap between Red Bull and the other teams. So that's pretty much it, and we hit the throttle right now. And lights out, and away we go. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. What was that? I would say.
First of all, as a Ferrari fan, let me start by saying, how does a team bring in upgrades and be shit or be worse than they were? I have no idea how Ferrari can pull this off. Literally no idea. When they said that we have upgrades for Charles' car, it was something good, and then we all were expecting, oh, Charles is gonna win. Charles is gonna at least come on podium. And then when you see the race, it was a completely different thing. So I don't know what is wrong with his car, or I have no idea why he has so much bad luck going on at the moment. Whereas Carlos he was good. He was really good. Carlos was amazing. I think he came fifth place, of fourth or fifth.
He came in fifth, I believe.
Okay, and that was very close though. I mean, he definitely, if he pushed, he could have come on podium. But as I predicted last week, Lewis Hamilton on the podium, but I didn't expect George to be there as well. How about you, Arjun?
I expected the Mercedes, but then I didn't expect a double podium. That was the real fact because okay, we were like because it was more clear that Lewis was actually having that all aggressive mood at the moment because he's like he needs to kind of close that gap and kind of get it out there. But then George, I didn't expect it at all. That came out of a surprise for some reasons.
Even for me, I think they collided during qualifying or practice, right?
Yes, so during qualifying, they both ended up. So it's like Lewis Hamilton was trying to do his flying lap. George Russell who started off his flying lap. Lewis Hamilton wanted to just overtake in, but then all of a sudden, it's just that Russell had to just move just from left to right a teeny mini bit that ended up resulting in Lewis Hamilton's right front wing plate kind of damaging, and he had to go back into the pits and kind of do in. But then still, even on the qualifying, the Mercedes was looking a lot stronger because at the end of the day, it's all about the tire temperature and then the way how you handle the car across the circuit de Barcelona, Cataluna. So it's literally that, to be very honest. I think they did like Hamilton did a mega job on that.
Yeah, and I think that their car is also well suited, you could say, for Spain, because it has a mix of turns and straights and whatnot. Of course, the Red Bull is a machine, but then the Mercedes coming second and third shows that they're closing that gap, and the gap is closing. But the only question that's in my head is it too late? Has Max already taken the championship away? Because I think he's on top and he's flying, isn't he?
True that. See, because at the moment Max is like at 91 point lead. And it's again, as I said this earlier, until and unless there is some kind of Red Bull having engine failures or something like how 2022 Bahrain, like how he ended up doing a DNF, then only that streak kind of breaks. But then at the moment, he's still maintaining the streak. He's either first or second, like second only once, but then, sorry, not second only once, second went in twice. On both the street circuits, Sergio Perez made it. But then Max, he is actually getting it there. And I feel it's more of like Max now is just deciding, oh, I'll just drive the normal way and kind of go through it. It's fine. It's very usual.
It's the consistency, it's incredible how consistent they are with their cars, and with his driving style, obviously aggressive, and mix
Mhm.
of aggression and power. Of course, he has an amazing machine behind him, so
No,
it's
but
it's
apparently,
it's overall just going well.
yeah, because I gotta tell this also. Apparently, Max and Sergio were the top two fastest cars because Max recorded like the fastest lap of 1:16.330. 1 minute 16 seconds and 330 milliseconds. Sergio Perez is 1 minute 16 seconds, 666 seconds. That's basically 300ths of a second difference. Whereas Hamilton was right behind, just say, literally 10 seconds, like 10 minutes, 1 by 10 second difference with Sergio, literally 1:16.676. And
Mercedes.
this says that that AMG powered car is actually coming back. Or can I be a little more dramatic over here? I would rather say the Phoenix is rising.
You all should see the smile on his face. This is wicked. That's it. But it's
Yeah.
interesting that you were talking about seconds. I'm just seeing some interesting stats on the pit stops of this weekend. And
Mhm.
Lando Norris.
Whoa,
Lando
really? 37 seconds on total. Like I know
on
this is the
total.
first pit stop. This is the first pit stop when he had the contact with Hamilton, ended up kind of going back to the pits. He chained the front wing. But the say and then these people even chained the tires. But the problem was his brakes were way too hot. That smoke was coming out of it.
Yeah, I mean, good qualifying. I mean, I would say lucky qualifying, and then the incident. Obviously, this is
You know,
exactly. I don't know.
I'm just, when you tell incident, I'm just thinking about Charles Leclerc, the incident.
Nothing. It's just an incident.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but this again. This is what separates a Max from a Lando. That this exact gap,
Yeah, literally,
or
literally.
even
Because
a George and a Lando,
no,
because George is
I'll
consistent.
I'll tell you this though. Lando Norris at one of his pit stops were 37 seconds. The other pit stop ended up going for 1 minute, 22 seconds, and 648 milliseconds. That's basically one. I can complete one entire lap because the fastest lap is gone for 1:16.330.
And it's not the team's fault, huh? It's
It's
not.
again like
It's
I don't know what happened. Like the problem was Lando Norris was coming in pretty well. Hamilton took over the position. Like he was fighting in speed, but then the problem was Carlos Sainz didn't give the space, and Hamilton was like, okay, Hamilton got to go, and Lando just kind of that I'll say that minute contact came in that ended up for the poor guy to kind of go from third to 20th, and I was like, what the hell just happened?
sports leaves nothing as minute. Everything here is right up there.
Yeah, but then what surprised me was the Aston Martin performance. What happened to that? Like, okay, Lance Stroll, for a change, was qualified fourth on the grid. Because of what do you call because of say Pierre Gasly's six place grid penalty. Uh, Certain drivers got that to be an advantage. So apparently, it's just that Lewis Hamilton ended up going up on top instead of Pierre Gasly being on P4. He ended up going say P10 now. Uh, but what happened to Lance Stroll? He qualified P6, and Fernando Alonso qualified P9. So it's just that
These
I just didn't understand. The home heroes didn't do anything.
That's what, and I was genuinely expecting so much more from Fernando. The way he's going this season, I think he's third in the drivers' constructors, and I expected way more, being it a Spanish Grand Prix. This is where he was born. This is where he's supposed to perform, and in the one place they've somehow messed it up a bit. I feel. But maybe it's
True,
just a
true.
race. Maybe they've brought on some updates. I think they have, right, on the car.
Yeah, so they actually did bring in some updates to their front plates and stuff. So it's just that At the moment, they have just bought in some updates, but then they're saying they're going to bring in even more upgrades for the next Grand Prix that's happening in Canada. And trust me, oh my God, I'm just thinking about the time I should watch that race is just, it's kind of killing me because it's happening at like midnight.
Yeah, for us it's exciting. But
It's,
coming back to
tr-
Aston, because I just
yeah.
want to talk about Aston for I don't know why, but Alonso is apparently not worried despite this finish. So he says that this is what exactly he said in his press conference, where maybe at the moment Red Bull and Mercedes are a bit stronger, but we're going to come up as well. So maybe it's the new upgrades that are going to come, which will maybe take them a step forward compared to this upgrade.
Potentially,
Maybe
potentially.
maybe this upgrade takes you a step backward, and then the new upgrade takes you two steps forward. At the end, you're still a step forward, if that makes
No, but then
sense.
it definitely makes sense. But then I need to say one thing for, as a matter of fact, Spanish Grand Prix was a very special Grand Prix for Alonso because it was going to be his 362nd start. Okay, that is exactly one third of all races, and it's his 33rd race at the circuit. Okay, and his garage, his pit box is also number 33. He was potentially going for his 33rd win, but then he didn't, unfortunately.
The
And
team
it
went
was, and his last win was 10 years. Like 10 years before in Spanish Grand Prix was his last win.
the team went all out on the celebrations and on everything else apart from the car. This
No,
is why they underperformed.
you know, like how we say what, when Mihir used to say teams ending up doing massive Instagram posting, oh, we do this, we do this, we do this, but then towards the end, just nothing happens.
This was when Mercedes were losing. Bring back those days.
No, but then trust me, I just feel a lot better at the moment with Mercedes doing its performance at its absolute best. Like, as in, because trust me, the Hamilton was really afraid whether he could make it even past Q2. He was like, I think from the pace that I had on today, it's a struggle for me to currently get onto top 10. Like, okay, everyone would be saying, oh, sometimes Mercedes would be sandbagging their performance, but okay, I cannot, I'm in no position of authority to say, okay, they are sandbagging it because it's just that for the drivers, especially for Hamilton, okay, he is just finally trying to get connected with the car and kind of getting onto that form. So that's
Arjun,
something which, yeah.
Arjun, Mercedes have a history of sandbagging, so let's not even talk about it. In all these years when they've dominated, I think something's wrong. My brakes are off, my power is low, my tires are wearing out. I'm on three tires, and still he wins. Still he wins. That is Hamilton for you. So I don't know if people believe what's on the radios now. I don't. Whatever they say, I don't. Because I truly believe that something opposite will happen. Every time Mercedes says, oh, I'm losing power, the exact opposite happens and then they're flying out of nowhere. So maybe he was sandbagging.
Okay, I just don't feel so. But then let's kind of take a moment for Charles Leclerc because qualifying he struggled. That first time in a Ferrari, he ended up qualifying out on Q1 and Q2. I'm seeing even more better cars, a Red Bull and a Mercedes, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Before we move to Charles, and I really do, I'm just gonna end one line for Lewis, and this is
Mm-hmm.
for all the men listening in the world. I know we have a
Yeah.
broad, I know we have a very broad audience, so this is for all the men from all over the world. Uh, get a good woman for yourself, like Lewis has with Shakira. They are seeing each other, and that's what a good woman does to you.
No, apparently some of the gossip was like Lewis Hamilton performed so well because Shakira was around. And I'm like, if that's the case, what about George Russell?
He's
Like
supposed to be
George
winning.
Russell,
He's maybe
come on,
she's not a good
but then
woman. She's not
see,
a good woman.
Come on, let's not talk about women over here in the first place.
Mm.
Like, I would have loved to have a women's opinion over here, but then our good nice McLaren fan Vishruti ended up falling ill, so she just couldn't make it. And for because she was super excited when McLaren got on top, and then she just watched the race for the first 5 minutes. That's what she told me, and then she's like, Lando just went down, so I stopped watching the race. I'm like, wow. But what's with Ferrari? I'm really confused. Like, okay, they bought in a kind of a setup which is kind of similar to what the Red Bulls do. Like, Red Bull got the floor pretty nicely that they are kind of getting a good downforce, but then with the Ferrari, the side pods almost as similar as the Red Bulls, something feels not so right.
If Ferrari had have tried to make their car similar to Red Bull, which looks that way, they genuinely shouldn't. Because who knows what Red Bull have under their whole dynamics of that car. You can't make a car look like another car and expect it to perform the same. As in, if you give me the material for a Toyota and ask me to build it like a Ferrari, a street car, there's no way in hell it would have the same power, the same steering, the same ability as the original Ferrari would. Now, if they did that, if then they're seriously going wrong. And again, there's new leadership this year, but they need better leadership than this. You have the funds, go for somebody better. There's Cyril who's sitting outside. Like, I love Cyril, and I have no idea why these idiots are not going for Cyril. Cyril does wonders for a team. We all know what he did with Renault.
True.
He's a man of wonder.
Man, you're just
And
saying, it is just reached a point where you're like, oh, if teams got problem, call Cyril. It's more like, okay, Cyril's your hit man who is just like getting ready, like, okay, Jason, what's up? Bro, you need to come down to this team. And Cyril's like, Roger that. Like, bro, come on.
Cyril needs a better
Be a little
agent.
more be a little more realistic over here.
No, I'm being very realistic because he's unemployed. He has
He's
experience.
not unemployed.
He's not.
No, he's not unemployed. He is employed. He is currently the team principal for Hyundai's World Endurance Championship team.
Oh, it's the same as unemployed for me.
Well, I would rather say that's your friend Cyril in your contacts list, not the team principal Cyril.
Nah, the team principal Cyril deserves to be an F1. After what he's done with Renault, he deserves to be a. But anyways, it's good that he's somewhere else. And I'm
Yeah, and and it's also like this particular week we kind of observed some really nice meme content on the radio where George Russell ends up just going like, okay, is it raining? Is it raining? And then he's just kind of getting confused between his rain and sweat, and then he's realizing, oh, it's his sweat because his hair kind of was outside the balaclava. So anyone who doesn't know what a balaclava is basically kind of a kind of a covering which is being put on before you put in the helmets. So normally we use this even in karting. So when me and Jason went for karting, I had to wear a balaclava. Just that, like, it covers my nose, my face, and it's like a fireproof material, right?
those guys specifically instructed Arjun to wear it in case there's a fire from his car.
No, he wore it. It's just that strand of hair ended up just hitting his eye, and he's like, okay, I just can't get my hands off the steering wheel in the first place.
Only George can do this. George moment.
Only George. I know, right? Like he's just becoming like pure meme material at the moment.
So yeah, George is always how he is. He's become a meme. He's a very fun guy as well now, and he's racing well. Good vibes, I would say. And it's only something that
No,
he
it's
could do and
it's
make everyone
you
laugh.
know it's not like say how Lando ends up being like, okay, happy birthday to your grandma or something. Like his memes come right when he's up on that straight, hitting the DR zones.
It's a George
Like
specialty.
it's literally it's just a George specialty.
But by the way,
But
I
like
wanted to bring up something. When we were talking about teams, right? Team principles. There was this one feed or one source in which I saw Horner was about to join Ferrari.
I know, I saw that. I saw that. And I'm like, what?
You saw that as well, right?
I did see that. I was like,
And imagine
that's an
he did.
interesting.
It is right because they had to apparently pay him way more to get him to stay. And Ferrari were that close of getting a very good principal for themselves. Who and Horner
Mhm.
has built Red Bull, of course. He's the one who nurtured this team. Even a few years back when Mercedes were dominating, he's the one who didn't give up, and he has that mentality in him. And he was the one who officially defeated the Mercedes or the golden era Mercedes. So, Ferrari, come on, push a bit more.
As in, you should not say push a bit more. You should say break a little more bucks.
Yeah, they easily can. They easily can. There's a lot
Like
of bucks.
guys at Maranello, if you're listening to us, you should basically break a little more bucks if you want Christian Horner,
And it's worth it.
because
It's completely
but
worth
but
it.
but, but one thing is there. It's not only Christian Horner. If you're bringing, you should bring it like a package. Like bring Christian Horner and Adrian Newey, who designed the car, get them to design it. You would have one hell of a flying car.
Speaking about the employees, wasn't there a rumor of the McLaren technical team moving to Audi in a few years? Or now, in fact.
No, so the thing is that it's just that there has been some movements though. So over the weekend we got to know one of Red Bull's very oldest guys who is into aero and technical. He ends up moving down to McLaren, and McLaren says this is such an instrumental move when this guy get when these this team gets Rob Marshall. Okay, so with Rob Marshall, the thing is that Rob Marshall has been in Formula One since 2006. That means since the times of Michael Schumacher, he is there in the sport, supporting the Red Bull team. And literally, it's just that he has been one of the senior most figures because he has seen, if I'm not wrong, 4 or 5 different generations of Formula One cars, right? So this guy going to McLaren,
Yeah,
as he would be most probably put in as a in a director role for sure. Yeah, he's going to be the technical director for engineering and design. So that's one thing which McLaren seriously got to fix. So with this guy
and
coming in,
McLaren have
it
both
should.
one of the best. McLaren are bringing one of the best persons, or one of the best
True.
person for this job. That all that experience since 2006, that's gonna do a huge number on these guys, and I'm pretty sure he's getting paid well, of course. But more than the pay, it's what the experience and the knowledge that McLaren can benefit of him. Maybe we see a race-winning car next season for McLaren. Who knows?
See, at this point, it's just that after Aston Martin did its magic, I'm just like, okay, we got to now seriously think about other teams coming in because Alpine also is coming up, doing its job. It's fighting for points for sure. But then, will it actually kind of target Red Bull? The main thing over here is that will the other cars get the equation right? Now, since everyone has seen Red Bull's floor from Monaco, it's just that they just know what to do. It's just that they cannot do it on this year's car for sure. They can do it for the next year's car, of course, because of the testing and the amount of time they can kind of develop the car and bring it up. But then, speaking about that itself, we also have in Alfa Romeo. So Alfa Romeo, even till this year, it's called Alfa Romeo Sauber. So that's also going to get a replacement. So apparently, McLaren's technical director is going to move to Alfa Romeo as a technical director itself, but he is not starting his work in next season. He's starting his work as soon as the summer break is over. On September 1st, 2023, he will officially start working for the Sauber team.
That's cool. Um,
And
it's
that's
so
very
much.
unusual because normally people leave a team after a season, right?
Yeah, I mean,
This
even
guy is leaving literally mid-season.
maybe he's unhappy. He's got a way better deal in front of him. You know, I you should take it. Always take a better
And
deal.
also
But
and also this guy has a record though. He has a record of Formula One's youngest technical director.
It's always the young ones who make a rash decision.
You mean Max?
Nah, I'm just kidding on that
Shall
one.
I say Super Max?
Yeah, but
But like, yeah, that's one thing for sure. Like, teams are actually figuring out, like, uh, Mercedes that internally, rather than pulling up people from other teams are just pulling from one side, the other side, the other side, the other side, and I'm like, wow,
the lack of loyalty, guys. Come on, come on. But yeah,
it's
would
just we just cannot say about that at the end of the day.
imagine Rob on his last day, and then he has all these blueprints with him since 2006, and he's holding it in his hand, and he's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys," and he's walking all the way to McLaren.
How much ever blueprints are there? It's just that there are certain elements to that RB19. If all of them work in tandem, then only the car goes that fast. And this one, Christian Horner has said it so clearly, it's just that we don't want to show our floor, but then you have now seen our floor of the car. So it's but no one could mock that flow any easy, just because it's not only that there are still other factors that kind of play into its way and kind of work it out. So that's there.
Hmm.
But one thing which I need to say is that Christian Horner finally admits Mercedes has taken a bigger step and expects them to start putting Red Bull under pressure.
Yeah, it's honestly so evident. Mercedes have been trying so hard since the first race, and they've, of course, they know what it's like to be behind or to be in someone's shadows now, where Red Bull get all the spotlight, and of course Toto's like, oh, we have to be at where they are, we have to beat them, and they really have made some big steps. But I wouldn't judge it off this race. I would just maybe hold it off for the next two races, so we just see how they pace themselves or they strategize themselves in the next two races as well, because maybe they had a good day over here,
Mm,
and in life you can always have bad days and unexpected days,
true,
so maybe
true, true, true.
we hold it off or hold that energy off that, oh, Mercedes is, back, but then you just hold it off for 2 weeks, have a look how things is going, and if the results are consistent for 2 weeks, then yeah, you can say your line,
Yeah,
whatever it was, the Phoenix rises or whatever.
yeah. But then at the moment, Mercedes is 135 points away from Red Bull, and they have like they are officially now second in the constructors. They have moved Aston Martin to third, and then Mercedes has got in within Aston Martin and Mercedes. It's 18-point difference at the moment. So we actually have to see what is with the constructors, because Red Bull at the moment is 287 points, Mercedes is down at 152, Aston Martin 134, and Ferrari 100. So
Yeah,
we got four.
that's gonna be a
We got
very close battle, because you in this you have both the drivers contributing to the points, whereas in the driver standings it's a separate thing where Max is flying, but over here you're reliant on the other driver as well, which Mercedes are doing really well with Lewis and George, both of
no.
them bringing in points. It's insane. I think they'll
See,
hold on to second, possibly even first if they can get the better of Sergio Perez. Then yeah, first is on decks for them.
no, see, at the moment, Perez is 34 points away, sorry, 35 points away from Max. That if Sergio ends up getting what one podium and say one pole position post race, and at least say he gets, if suppose there's a sprint race and then wins something over there, he can close the gap easy, the easy peasy. But then after that 117, we got Fernando Alonso with 99 points. That's possibly say around what 10 or 20 point difference. Because you know what I realize is just that each of these drivers are just having like from second onwards, the difference between each drivers is just what 20 or 30 point differences.
Where it's one win away.
Yeah, but like because at the moment, see, George Russell has replaced Carlos Sainz and got on to top five on the Drivers' Championship. So we got to see how it is.
It'll be interesting. It'll be a very interesting battle for sure. Um, I don't know if you've exactly heard about this, but there was some talk about Checo not performing as expected. I know he's second, but again, this is from a source that I've seen where I think Helmut Marko, that's what his name is, right? The old man from
Yeah, yeah,
the old,
yeah. The old man,
yeah.
the oldie wearing the white shirt and the blue vest.
Yeah, where he was like, Checo's performance has not been up to it, if I'm not wrong. And look at who they have sitting in reserves. I am so excited if he's back next year. I mean, Checo still has not signed a contract, has he?
Checo, wait, I think he did.
No, I think
Checo
his
did.
no, I think his contract expires this year.
Let's check.
We should.
He has signed a 2-year extension deal with Red Bull in 2022. So till 2024, his contract is deadlock sealed.
Okay, that means he has another season, right?
Yup. Because in May 31st, 2022, he's given time until 2024.
Hmm. Now this contract puts a huge hurdle in Ricardo coming next season.
It puts a huge hurdle, but then Red Bull is having the history of breaking contracts.
Yeah, but then yeah, and Red Bull have the money to pay Checo as well, even if they break their contract. So that's okay.
But
What do
then
you
I'm just
think?
curious if these guys take Checo out, which team Checo would go to? Because there's no more Force India. That's called Aston Martin at the moment. He cannot go. He cannot crawl back there.
Maybe he's gonna
He
take,
would need a sub. He would go down to some subsidized teams. Who knows?
or maybe he would come back in 2026 when the new teams come.
I don't think.
It's a long wait, and I
Because
know he's
Checo,
about 30 something, right? He's
see,
34 or something.
because Checo is also one of the legacy drivers on the grid. Because I'll tell you, we got Fernando Alonso, we got Lewis Hamilton, we got Valtteri Bottas, we got Sergio Perez. These all are legacy drivers,
True.
and Nico Hulkenberg
Yeah,
as well. So
and
yeah,
and
so it's
generally Checo brings in a lot as well to Red Bull because he brings that whole fan base of Mexico, and along with that, a lot of income as well because they generate some good amount from these guys.
well, it's at the end of the day, Formula One is a sport, and with sport, a lot of people make out money out of it. So it's pretty usual.
Yeah.
Anyways, this ended up going on a pretty long conversation because trust me, we were just planning to do this just for 20 odd minutes, but then we ended up crossing the 30 mark. My final question. Driver of the day, according to you, who would it be?
Charles Leclerc. You need to post this on Insta. Uh, driver of
Why?
the day. It's a good question. I have no idea who I would pick as driver of the day because I do believe that there are a few good performances, including Hamilton's, including Russell's. The Alpines were amazing this weekend. Even the Alfa Romeo of Zhao Guanyu, he was
He had a pretty mammoth
he
performance.
did. So I mean, okay, maybe I would go with him. Yeah.
I would go with Hamilton. I'm going to go with the popular demand based on what Formula One also suggested Lewis Hamilton. Because,
Boo.
yeah, go, boo yourself. I don't care. Like, I'll tell you why. Because one thing for sure is just that Hamilton did a fab job on driving that car, and it was really unexpected, like with all the upgrades, and it was just that, okay, could they make it, could they not make it, god knows. But then I kind of told Mercedes, the Spanish track for the Mercedes is always a very favorable track. So again, we don't know how this thing is going to turn out to be. But then Lewis potentially is holding the streak.
We shall see if he continues it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any feedback for us or want to collaborate with us, do let us know. We're open to collaborations. Companies, you better start watching out because this is going to be a huge platform for you guys. Formula Pod is going to be big with all your support, and that's all I have to say.
Very ambitious. Until next time, this is the entire team from the Pod signing off. Goodbye.